Hello friends, welcome back in my new video. Last time we discussed about sources of funding for a private limited company, and again we will be discussing the same topic for a public limited company. Now let's see the sources of funding. So we discussed the same set of categories for the private limited company as well. Let's discuss one by one. Now first we will take a look on the definition of members. So a member is a shareholder of the company whose name is entered in the register of members. Now the first source of funding, equity share capital. A public limited company can be started with a minimum share capital of 5 lakh and there should be a minimum of 7 shareholders and 3 directors. A public limited company can be either listed or non-listed on a recognized stock exchange. Listed companies can invite general public to subscribe for their shares, so they can raise money from the general public as well. An unlisted public company can have unlimited number of shareholders and can raise capital through private placement of shares. So unlike private companies, they can have unlimited number of shareholders, although private companies can only have 200 members maximum. Now in case of debts from banks or other credit institutions, there is no limit. So a company can avail term loan or a working capital loan from banks or other financial institutions against security of their assets, movable or immovable properties. So they can obtain a fund-based and non-fund-based credit from banks depending upon the assets they have for which they can mortgage. Now the third category is acceptance of deposit from members. So if you want to take money from directors or relative of directors, so the directors or relative of directors can give only out of their own funds and not borrowed from others. They have to give a declaration for the same as well. Now for accepting deposit from other than directors, there are three set of categories, three set of categorization of public limited companies for which the limit is different. So first category is specified IFSC public company. So let's see the definition. An unlisted public company which is licensed to operate by RBI or SEBI or IRDA from the International Financial Service Center located in an approved SEZ area. So for these companies, the limit of acceptance of deposits is 100% of the paid up share capital plus security premium plus free reserves. For the eligible companies means a public company having net worth of more than 100 crores and a turnover of more than 500 crores. Such companies can accept up to 10%, and other companies other than the above two categories, they can accept up to 35% of the share capital plus share premium plus free reserves. Now for free reserves, we mean that amount which is available for distribution as dividend to the shareholders of the company, which basically includes the retained earnings. Now acceptance of deposit from non-members. So for such category, there is a limit which is up to 25% of the paid up share capital plus share premium plus free reserves. And again, it is only available for the eligible companies, which are basically companies with net worth of more than 100 crores and turnover of more than 500 crores. Now such companies have to pass special resolution and file the same with ROC. They have to obtain credit rating and file with ROC. They have to create a charge on its assets for not less than the amount of deposits within 30 days. These companies shall execute a deposit trust deed. Okay, now they have to maintain a deposit repayment reserve account where they have to maintain at least 20% of the deposits maturing during a financial year and the next financial year. So amount which is maturing in the current financial year and the next financial year, 20% of that amount they have to maintain in the deposit repayment reserve account. Also, if you are accepting or renewing any deposits in any form, the rate of interest or the brokerage, etc., such conditions have to be complied with NBFC norms. They cannot be more than the NBFC norms. Now public limited company can raise funds through issue of debentures as well. So they have the option to convert such debenture into shares either wholly or partly at the time of redemption of debentures. So these can be both secured or unsecured. Now the debentures, for issuing debentures, we have to comply the following conditions. So the debenture redemption cannot be more than 10 years. You have to redeem them. The redemption has to be done within 10 years from the date of issue. the company has to create a charge on the assets of the company for sufficient repayment of the debentures and their interest. A debenture trustee has to be appointed. The company has to execute a debenture trust deed to protect the interest of the debenture holders. Debenture redemption reserve should be formed by the company for the redemption of debentures. So thank you friends. So hope you liked the video. Hope the video was informative. So please like and subscribe, and let me know if you have any query. Please mention in the comments box. Many thanks for watching the video.